What's up, guys? It's Des with Divine Geomatrix 2D Readings. I hope all of you guys are doing well. I am going to do something different today. So today is September 17th, 2020, and we have a new moon today. So I wanted to do a new moon reading. However, instead of just doing it for the collective as a general reading, I wanted to do a pick a card reading. So here you see that we have 3 decks. You can choose from one of 3 decks, or you can just stick through the whole reading and take what resonates and leave what does not. Here we have a chevron amethyst for our deck number 1. For our deck number 2, we have our rainbow fluorite. For deck number 3, we have our smoky quartz citrine. You can't really tell, but there is definitely citrine in there. But it's smoky quartz citrine. So 1, 2, and 3. Alrighty, I'm going to start this way, and we can just get started with deck number 1. I do want to disclose, I did not look at any of these cards, so it's completely brand new for not only you, but also me. So, let's go ahead and see what Spirit wants to talk about for our deck number 1. So for the first card, we have Primal Flower Essence. For the second card, we have Self-Focus. For the third card, we have Sacral Chakra. Okay, so right off the bat, before I even continue, because I do want to stop at the 3 cards for now, we have, for the first card with Primal Flower Essence, what it is telling me is to really work within your solar plexus and regain that confidence within yourself. Kind of tap into that inner flower, whether you're masculine or feminine or a female or male, whatever, anything in between. Really tapping into that inner beauty within yourself, finding whatever feeds into your natural energy, right? So how can you cultivate that energy so that you can get things done? Bloom like a flower. As a flower is budded, it's a slow process for it to really open up and show the outside world the beauty within that bud, right? So right now you might be finding yourself going from a budded state of being and slowly opening up into that beautiful flower. I do also want to talk about how this card in the middle, you see that there's an evil eye, so it feels like we are learning, for deck number 1, we're learning to push away the negativity and really tap into our own power, protect our energies, and really be our authentic self and live in our authentic power. For self-focus, it's time to focus on self-love. It's time to dig into your inner power, like this card says, to dig into your inner power, to focus on your self-love, and to learn how to love unconditionally for yourself and for others, or toward yourself and toward others. It is a big change within yourself. You're going through a transitional period for our deck number 1, and it is also leading you to focusing on your sacral chakra, which is going to help with your creativity. It's going to help with the relationship you have with yourself and the relationship you have with others. First and foremost, it does start within yourself. When you are able to have a good relationship with yourself, your relationships outside of that are that much easier because you're owning your power and you're also sitting in your authentic self. The next couple cards for this deck, we have Stargate of Orion and Sacred Serpent. So with these 2 cards, it looks like you're focusing on your third eye, or you're going through a third eye awakening, as well as this spiritual transition. It does feel as though with Stargate of Orion, it's basically asking you to tap into your inner light and illuminate through that darkness. So if you really look at this card, it's surrounded by a lot of dark blues, and then it looks like the light is raising up and illuminating from there, which is causing the darkness to dissipate and a lot more light is shining through. So it's asking you to tap into your inner light. And then with the Sacred Serpent, from what I remember this card being is, I know that snakes have a bad rep, but with this specific card, it is talking about how it's time to maneuver through life easier and with ease, just with ease in general. So it feels like you're going through a shedding period. Okay, just like snakes, it feels as though with deck number 1, all of you guys who chose this deck are going through a shedding period, really learning how to let go of what no longer resonates, and slowly you're becoming a new version of yourself. Going back to the idea of the primal flower, that is definitely a shedding period for yourself, where you're no longer that budded flower, but you are not quite that full-blown bloomed flower, right? Okay, so the next few cards we are checking in with is sexuality and honesty, and then will. Okay, so sexuality is talking about owning who you are, owning your power, knowing your worth, knowing who you are, and being that unconditionally, honoring yourself, honoring your beauty, and sharing that with the world, right? So it doesn't always have to tie in with your sexuality. Yes, that has something to do with who you are, and owning who you are is going to help you create a better relationship with yourself. And going back to self-love, what was that card? Self-focus. It is time to focus on yourself and to see, okay, well, what makes me me? What are the things that I choose to tie in with my identity? How do I identify myself? How do I show up in this world as my authentic self? And what is that authentic self, and what does it look like? Honesty is being truthful, not only with your voice, but being truthful about who you are, being truthful with your communication, and being completely transparent. So with deck number 1, it feels like you guys are learning how to be completely transparent with what's going on within yourself, but also show up in the world just as that. We have been taught to conform and to show face, basically put on a mask every day, not literally, but just put on this mask, and when we wear this mask, we tend to forget who we are within ourselves. So it's time to take that off and allow your reflection to be one. Finally be one, where your soul and your physical body actually feel in unison, okay? And being transparent with whatever that version of yourself, or whatever that person, or whatever that being is, all right? So then we have will, right? So will is regaining the energy to take some sort of steps in your soul direction. It does feel like it's time to take more self-control, or focus on self-control, and also with expression, learning how to express yourself, but again, going back to honesty, being truthful with that expression of yourself, and being assertive with who you are. Basically creating boundaries for yourself and regaining the energy so that you can continue on this journey, this soul journey that you have been on for however long. It's time to look into a new direction for yourself, and seek better guidance, and trusting your instincts, trusting that solar plexus that's guiding you, so that you can regain the confidence in yourself, and regain the confidence in your guides that you are going in the right direction. Okay, so we have guidance and home are the next two cards. So with guidance and home, it does feel as though we are trusting in our guides. With deck number 1, we're trusting in the signs, we're trusting in the support that we're receiving from the divine, and receiving the direction, or I guess looking for those arrows pointing us in the right direction during this soul journey. And creating a safe place for yourself, finding a home for yourself, finding some way that you can really find that safe place to recharge and cater to yourself, and find a safe place for you to find nurturing and warmth and unconditional love within yourself. just basically creating a place where you can be yourself authentically without judgment and without worry. Okay? So we have storm warning in reverse. So you guys might have recently gone through a wake-up call. You might have gone through a traumatic experience or might be going through a traumatic experience. This is just a warning for you guys to wake up spiritually, open up your third eye, and open up to see that you're obviously not living in your authentic self and you're not honoring yourself. So it's time to wake up and to cater to that soul. We have the thinking man in reverse. So your masculine energy might be overthinking or might have recently been overthinking about some things that you've been wanting to get done. It could be personal goals or it could be career goals, but either way, it does feel like you're overanalyzing things when they don't need to be overanalyzed. Maybe going back to the storm warning, maybe you guys are looking at that wake-up call and trying to figure out why it even happened. It's not about the whys, it's most importantly, what direction am I going in now, and is this happening? Are you thinking that it's happening to you, or is it happening for you? And that's a huge difference. So it's time to start thinking that things are happening for you, not to you. The temple path is basically that wake-up call is just so that you can embark on your spiritual journey if you have not yet done so, and you are being guided to a greater spiritual awakening so that spirit can help you to create a dreamlike reality that you so rightly deserve. Cornucopia, this card is in reverse, so it feels like whatever energies that you've been focusing on, you're blocking yourself from receiving the abundance that the divine wants to give you. It does feel like the space that the space that is being taken from energy that no longer resonates with you or no longer serves you. So it does feel like it's time to clean house, and it's time to create the space for more abundance to come into your life, and for more love and light to come into your life. Broken heart upright, you guys this deck might be going through a breakup or might have recently gone through a breakup. It could also be that maybe you're going through a change within yourself, that you're questioning yourself and you're questioning your worth. It does feel like this energy is only serving you a purpose because it is time to let go of the past and move forward to your future. So I wouldn't spend too much energies or too much time focusing on this broken heart. I'm sorry, I know that it hurts and I know it's hard, but at the end of the day, it's time to wake up and focus on yourself and focus on the things that you can focus on rather than the things that are bringing you down, okay? Okay, and then we have a win-win forecast. A win-win outcome is forecasted. So it feels like whatever situations have been going on, or whatever went on with that storm warning or as that wake-up call, it does feel like regardless, it's going to be a win-win for you. It just feels as though right now you do need to focus on creating that space, letting go of what no longer serves, letting go of resistance, and allowing spirit to come in and guide you to the right direction. Your dreams need a practical plan. So it does feel like with this deck, that wake-up call could even be that it's time for you to look at your dreams and see where you can better plan them to execute it into fruition. It does feel like right now they're just kind of sitting as ideas and floating up in the air without actually having a plan of action. So it's time to really make a practical plan so that you can take action on the things and goals that you need to get done. Step out of your comfort zone. Yes, the wake-up call is definitely because you've been sitting in your comfort zone way too long, and it's time for you guys to get out of it. It does feel like that comfort zone isn't serving you a purpose anymore and that you've outgrown it. So at least acknowledging that idea that you've outgrown this comfort zone of yours, or this space that you once had as your safe place or your home, it's time to recreate that, okay? Emotions are running high. So you might be feeling a little out of sorts or feeling like a little overwhelmed with emotions, and it could be because of that broken heart. It could be because of the lack of relationship you have within yourself, but it's time to really focus on that and figure out a way that you can balance out your emotions, balance out that mind, body, soul idea, and integrate more play into your life. Integrate a little bit more fun and blissfulness in your life. But emotions are running high because you are looking at the situation that things are happening to you, not for you. The energy is gaining momentum. So all of those ideas and dreams that you want to get done, they do need a practical plan, but at the end of the day, it is gaining momentum. So whatever energies that you have been working on or working toward, they are gaining momentum to where you are going to end up being successful. But right now, it is time to create that space so that you can provide more abundance, or you can receive more abundance in your life. So closing messages for our affirmation, we have Opal, which is bringing joy. My soul sings and dances to the vibration of joy. Next one we have is Tiger's Eye. This is courage. I am courageous, and this energy supports me throughout my life. Definitely. Aquamarine. Communication. I communicate with ease and grace. Malachite. I am a healing machine manifesting miracles. Definitely. And then the last one is Golden Calcite. Inspiration. I am inspired in all that I do. So with this deck, I do want to talk about, this is the time to really focus on your dreams, focus on your goals. How can you create, but by honoring your truth and honoring who you are, by sitting in your authentic self, honoring your beauty, knowing who you are, and knowing your worth. It's a time for healing, creating that space, letting go of what no longer serves, and allow yourself to not only be that flower, that beautiful flower that's budded and trying to bloom, but also shed like a snake and create that space for more. All right? For deck number 1, if you chose deck number 1, I hope you found insight and clarity on today's reading. Now let's go ahead and move on to deck number 2. Deck number 2 was the rainbow fluorite. And with the rainbow fluorite, we have for the first card, we have Crown Chakra. Okay, so I guess with this, if you chose this deck, it is time to focus on your Crown Chakra. Self-mastery is the next one. Yes, it's time to wake up your third eye, or open up your third eye that much more. You guys are going through a spiritual awakening, as we all are in some way, shape, or form. But in this specific reading, you're focusing on unity. How can you remind yourself that you are connected to the divine and that we are all one? You have the light from above, and with that light, you're able to illuminate the world so that the others can too do the same. Okay? The next one we have is Heart Chakra. So with Heart Chakra, Self-Mastery, Unity, and Crown Chakra, these cards to me are speaking out on the fact that it's time to learn how to spiritually awaken. Open up your heart, open up your Crown Chakra. Remember that you are connected, you are that love, and you are that light from above. Master yourself and learn to reclaim your powers, learn how to reclaim your worth so that you are living in that state of unconditional love with an open heart, but also an open Crown Chakra, so that you are being guided and you're receiving the messages that the divine has in store for you. Action is the next card we have. So with action, it feels like whatever you have been focusing on, it's time to have more discipline and perseverance with whatever goals and ideas that you have that you want to come to life, right? So it's time to take action and actually create more movement in your life. With that, it's going to help you to bring out your inner child with this, and integrate more playfulness, integrate more wonder and innocence in your life. How can you, what are the things that you used to do as a child that you no longer do, but you have been thinking about them recently, or you think that you would actually benefit from them by integrating it in your everyday life, in your daily routine. We have presence as the next card. So it is time to be more present. You might be, because your Crown Chakra is open, you actually might be in a state where you're lacking grounding energy, this deck does feel like it's time to not take more action, but to be more grounded. Take more action on grounding yourself, on finding some sort of way to reconnect with this physical reality, right? So I understand we are all soul beings, and that we don't necessarily want to be in this world because of how dark it is. But we are meant to be in this world right now because it is dark, and we are meant to illuminate our light, remember who we are, and remember that light within us, to illuminate it and allow other people to do the same, so that our world is no longer as dark as it is today. What's going to help bring out that inner light is integrating more of your inner child and learning how to provide yourself with more wonder and more innocence. How you can do that is by being present. You can be more aware of what's going on in today's life, in today's reality, and yet still somehow be more connected to the universe, in which that you're receiving your messages, but you're able to actually take action on those messages here on Earth. Okay? And then seeing. You guys, whoever chose this deck is seeing the reality of the truth that's going on in our world. As I said, we are in a very dark world, so we're forgetting of our soul self. We're forgetting of the reasons why that we came and reincarnated here on this planet. So it's time to provide yourself with more clarity, provide yourself with more knowledge about the things that are happening in our world, and how you can take action on that by being more grounded, and what else? And learning how to integrate through your heart chakra to live more in unconditional love. We also have inspiration. So this is a time of ideas. You actually might be receiving some ideas from the divine, and it could be in your career life, it could be in your love life, in any way, shape, or form. You might be receiving just ideas and sparks of inspiration from the divine, and those ideas are supposed to be a part of your soul purpose. Okay, so pay attention to those. I would highly recommend having maybe a pen and paper, writing down your ideas, writing down your feelings, letting go of whatever doesn't serve you, and continue seeking the truth. Just feeding yourself more knowledge about the things that are going on in our world. Healer of the Ages in reverse. It feels like you've forgotten your power. You've forgotten that you are enough. You've forgotten that you have the resources within yourself to manifest anything that you want in your life. We have the Garden and the Gate. It does feel like you're sitting in not stagnant energy, but you're sitting in a comfort zone. You are afraid to open up that gate and look beyond just what you've created thus far, but in front of you is a vast plain, whereas basically you can create anything you'd like, and you can start from the ground up. So just like you created this comfort zone, you can do it again, but in a better, more efficient way, to where that you're still growing spiritually, yet you aren't locked in or confined into a small place. Wow. Walking away in reverse. So it does feel like you've been questioning on whether or not you want to walk away from that comfort zone that you've created, but you've been resistant because of comfort. You've been resistant because of fear, because you're afraid that if you leave, that you're afraid of the unknown. And it's okay. Whoever chose this deck, if you guys chose this deck number 2, it's the time to really let go of resistance, trust in the divine, trust in those messages that you're receiving and that you are opening up to. They're not just for a reason. They're not just for any reason. They are not coincidental. It's actually because you are being called to a greater plan. So listen to it. Second chakra, Archangel Ariel, upright. This is telling you it's time to create. It's time to focus on your ideas and get inspired creatively. It feels like it's a time to really tap into your relationship with yourself as well, to help cultivate that energy so that you can create. Just like I said, just like you created this safe place, it's time for you to recreate that, but in a more efficient and more spiritual way, so that you are protecting your energies, but also remembering your light and being your authentic self. Blossoming abundance, you're going to be receiving some amazing abundance from the universe because you're doing the work. So continue doing the work and know that at the end of the day, you're going to be compensated from the universe for striving toward your spiritual purpose. We all have a spiritual purpose here on this earth. We all chose to reincarnate on this earth so that we can be the light that the darkness is trying to hide. All right? So tap into your light and illuminate that beautiful light that you have been given, and remember the gifts that you've been given so that the divine can provide more abundance to you because you've created that space. Contract upright. It feels like you might be approaching a business opportunity that might involve a contract. It could be a legal situation in which that you are like maybe getting married. You might be finding a business partner to work toward a business goal on. But either way, it feels like it's time to really get into that and tap into that energy of creating. But this action card is in reverse, so it does feel like even though you feel the need to take action and actually take the steps toward your overall goal, you haven't done so yet, and it is because you're sitting in that energy of lack or energy of comfort. You don't want to push through those comfort zones because of, again, unfamiliarity and fear of the unknown. But it's time to let go and allow the universe to take over and know that all is well. Prosperity lies ahead. Definitely. Whatever business ideas that you guys have, whether it's with you and your partner, you and your business partner, you by yourself, whatever it is, it's time for you to trust that prosperity lies ahead and that all is going to be well in your life. The end of a tough cycle approaches. So it does feel like maybe you have some Capricorn energy in here. It feels like maybe you've gone through some really hard emotions, but it's time to realize that you're closing out a cycle and beginning a new one. So you're not quite where you were, and you're not quite where you're supposed to be yet, but you're in transition. Have faith in your dreams. So you have a lot of ideas that you want to come to fruition, but you aren't believing in yourself to get them done. It is time to let go of that fear. It is time to let go of that comfort. Whatever blanket you've been wrapped around in thus far, it's time to take it off and allow yourself to be vulnerable just for even a moment so that the divine can work in and through you. Don't let your past hold you back. So some of you guys might be focusing on the things that haven't happened yet in your past, or the decisions that you made in the past, whether they were good, bad, or indifferent. At the end of the day, they were choices. Life is full of choices. Life is full of choices every single day. We either go left, we either go right. But sometimes we need to realize that we have that power to choose. We don't need to let anybody sway us or persuade us to go any direction. It's all up to us. If we listen to that guide, that gut feeling, that instinct that we get, then we will be fine, and we're going to be trusted that we're going down our spiritual path, okay? You are good enough. So whoever chose this deck, if you guys chose this deck, look, you are good enough to take on whatever comes your way. I get it. It might be difficult. You might be having a really hard time getting out of that comfort zone. But once you step out of it, you're going to realize, why was I in that confined space? How long was I in there? How come I didn't get myself out? And how can I get myself out of it? Because I've been in there way too long. Your hard work is paying off. So you've been doing some spiritual shedding, okay? And it does feel like your hard work is going to be paid off. Look, we have a full moon in Capricorn and a new moon in Capricorn. I don't know why, but I am receiving a lot of Capricorn energy in here. It could be that you are definitely focused on and career driven, but for whatever reason you are struggling with this lack mentality within yourself. But it's time to get out of it and trust that you have everything you need right within you, and also the divine is right there with you. So for our closing affirmations, we have Citrain, which is abundance. I am aligned at all times with the abundant energy of the universe. This powerful energy flows through me into every aspect of my life. The next one we have is Divine Temple Crystal, which is Source. I am deeply connected to and an expression of the divine source of the universe. Chrysotol. I always have a hard time saying this one. My power animal supports, guides, and loves me throughout my life. Definitely. So tap into your inner power animal. Rose Quartz. Self-love. I approve myself and love myself deeply and completely. You need to remember that you are enough, and loving yourself is going to be the biggest assistant in that. I am an instrument of peace. This is scolecite? Not sure. But it's peace. I am an instrument of peace. Definitely. Finding that peace within yourself so that you can continue pushing through and creating that space that the divine wants you to create so that they can provide more abundance to you. If you chose deck number 2, I hope you found insight and clarity on today's message. I love you guys, and if you guys need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. I know it's a little hard to remember who you are and also push through the uncomfortable energy, but it's time to let go, shed that weight, and create some space. Alrighty, on to deck number 3. So for our deck number 3, this is going to be our Smoky Quartz Citrine. Okay. So the first card we have for deck number 3 is Keeper of the Light, which is hummingbird energy. So with this, it feels like you are definitely going through a spiritual transition, but you are, give me a second, I need water. But you are going through a period in which you're allowing people to see your beauty, but only glimpses of it. So you've been working a lot inward, and it feels like you don't want to quite tell everybody about what you've been doing, but you're showing little glimpses of it so that they're interested and that they know that you're at least still here and doing the work. Record Keeper. So for deck number 3, it feels like you guys are tapping into your Akashic records and learning how to create a more harmonious balance within yourself, and also learning how to integrate it into your world, right? So you are going through a period of restructuring your day-to-day, your routines, and you are tapping into your old self, your past lives, so that you can work through them and heal through them to better your reality and better your future. Soul Star Self is the next card that I have. This card is definitely talking about how you're waking up to your inner light worker. It feels as though you're realizing that you have a gift, or you have multiple gifts that you can show up and use to better the world, better your situations, and also help those around you to better their situations. Spirit of Bear. It feels like you're learning to you're figuring out how you want to leave your footprint on this earth. So it feels like you're learning how to listen to the divine, but also with each step that you take, you're leaving your footprint on this earth, and it is because you're stepping into your authentic power. Self-love. So for this card, it feels like it's time to focus on your self-love and pampering that soul self rather than that physical self. Whoever chose this deck, it's time to really learn how to create a relationship with yourself and pamper yourself so that you can recharge your batteries and focus on becoming more of that light worker, becoming more of that soul worker. I don't know what else to say with like that, but light worker. I just keep hearing light worker. Base chakra. So as you guys are opening up to your spirituality, it's time to stay grounded. So you guys are lacking this energy of of grounding yourself into today's life. So even though we're up here and we're raising our vibration, this deck is tending to forget that we are still here on earth. So it's time to, yes, cater to your soul, cater to your spiritual growth and your ascension, but at the same time, stay grounded, because in order for you to execute and plan and take a plan of action, you need to stay grounded into today's earth or into this reality, so that you can take action to better your future and be more present. Right now, it's all about being present and taking what you're learning about yourself, about the spiritual world, and showing up as your authentic self, showing up as that soul self, being that light worker that you are. Self-esteem, as you're doing this, you're actually gaining a lot more confidence. You're learning how to practice that idea of self-love and self-worth. You're working on tapping into your power and loving yourself unconditionally. You're learning how to mirror what you feel within yourself and also show up in the world as that. The next card we have is desires. So with desires, you have a lot of goals and passion, and you're craving fulfillment. But in order for you to really focus on these goals, you do need to stay grounded so that you can create a plan of action to get them done. Otherwise, they just stay ideas and they never actually come to fruition. Gut instincts is the next card. So with this, your solar plexus is on fire. You are learning how to trust your intuition and learning how to trust your self-knowing and your senses. The things that you cannot see or hear physically, but you definitely feel them. So I highly recommend that you tap into your inner lion or lioness and reclaim your power, but also stay grounded in a sense that you're protecting your energies and also leading by example. That's what I just heard. Faith upright. Trust that you are being guided. Trust that you are opening up spiritually and you are being provided the support that you need from above. You are never alone, but have faith that you're never alone. Divine consciousness. You are definitely a light worker. This deck, you guys are light workers. You guys are definitely here to provide insight and clarity on helping the idea of we are all one. So learning how to focus on interconnection and expansion. So teaching others that we have the light within ourselves and how to integrate that light in our everyday lifestyle, so that we can be that authentic light every single day and show up as that light every single day. The next one we have is pleasure. So you're also learning a lot about yourself, which you're tapping into your inner beauty. You're tapping into your inner sensuality or enjoyment. The things that bring you pleasure, the things that bring you enjoyment, you, as you are realizing those things, you're practicing it in your everyday life, so that it creates a stronger self-esteem and a stronger confidence or stronger self-knowing. Money upright. So you're being guided definitely from the spiritual world, and this is going to help you with your financial stability. It does feel like you are learning about your power. You're learning of your abundance and who you are. You're also being a lot more generous with your money, because you realize that we are all one, and when you support others, they support you, and so does the universe. So it does feel like with this deck, you guys are beautiful balls of light. Like, you guys are awakened, but with that awakened third eye, you do need to ground yourself. You need to protect yourself. Goddess of the Moon. Yes, you are owning your power. Everyone who chose this deck, you're owning your power, you're owning your worth. You are in that state of self-knowing, but you're also working on integrating what you feel within yourself and also showing up as that every single day. 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron. So your third eye it's almost like it's open, but you are only opening it up halfway. It feels like you want to trust that the divine has your back, but you feel as though once you open that door, you're also opening up a door to negative energy. But you have to understand that we are living in a dark world. So the darkness actually serves the light. In order for anyone to see the light, it must be a little bit more dark for that light to shine the brightest, right? So it's time for you to trust that when you open up your third eye, you're not going to open up just to the negative. The negative comes with positive, but most importantly, it's all about protecting yourself. When you protect your energies, you're not going to have to worry about those energies trying to bring you down, because in that case, you're going to have faith and trust in the universe that they also have your back and that they would never let anybody or anything harm you. Hostilities does feel like you are being very aggressive with yourself. You're being too aggressive in your approach of things. So as you're seeing the truth, as you're realizing the truth of our dark world, it's creating fear. It's creating a little bit of an aggressive energy, because you're angry on the things that you're learning about. And you have a right to be angry, but at the same time, take what you're learning and actually help others see that truth as well. Because some people are completely ignorant to the fact that there are things going on in our world, and those things are making a huge difference on our personal life. So collectively, we might be going through some stuff, but individually, those things are actually impacting us on a greater scheme of things. All tied up. So this energy that you've been feeling like it's bogging you down, it's actually your doing. You have the opportunity to wiggle yourself out of the ropes that you've confined yourself in. It does feel like you have some sort of comfort zone that you are pushing out of, but at the end of the day, once you focus on your own power, the idea of wiggling out, you're going to get the energy to do so, and you're going to remember that you have the opportunity, the choice to get yourself out of whatever situation you may have found yourself in. Yin and yang, balancing out balancing out your yin and your yang, trying to figure out ways to find greater balance, not only within yourself but also in your world. You have the opportunity to create your world as we speak, but it's time to illuminate your light and find ways that you can show up as that light every single day, authentically. Women holding a coin, it does feel like you are blocking your own abundance, and it's coming from your feminine energy. You might be feeling like your feminine energy is out of balance. With this card, it does feel like your feminine energy, the lack of self-knowing or the lack of confidence that you have within yourself is blocking you from receiving the abundance that the divine has in store for you. So it's time to let go and to realize that you have everything you need and that you are enough as you are today. Balance spirituality and practicality. So with this specific deck, it does feel like you have been opening up spiritually, but it's time to realize that you are still in this reality. You are still in this earth. So it's time to let go of what no longer serves, and to realize that just as much as you are a soul being, you are also a human being. So finding a way to create that unison between the two. A new romantic cycle begins. You guys might be meeting someone. It could be a Libra energy. It doesn't have to be, but you're learning also that a new romantic cycle might begin within yourself. I do think this might be within yourself, but it could be with a romantic partner. The reason I say it could be within yourself is because if I look back at this woman holding a coin card, it does feel like the lack of feminine energy, or the lack of you sitting in your feminine energy, is creating that lack of balance, and the lack of relationship within yourself, which isn't allowing you to show up as your authentic self. Communication is key. If you guys are struggling, it's time to talk about it. Also, all of the things that you're learning about, it's time to talk about it. Don't just keep that information for yourself, because we are all going through it. It all affects us. So if you're learning things about what's going on in our world, and you're finding out truths that are shunning you, that are sorry, give me a second. If you are finding out truths about our world and that are surprising you, then it's time for you to talk about it with the world and figure out a way that you can help the world to be more educated on the things that are going on and how they could do their part to better this world and better illuminate the light, to spread more light instead of darkness in our dark, dark world. A new start is coming. This is a new cycle. You are definitely starting a brand new cycle with this new moon. It's time to write down those ideas that you might have. Write down the things that you want to let go that no longer serve you, and focus on how you can get rid of those bad habits and those things that have been weighing you down thus far. Okay? So it's time for our closing affirmations. We have Serpentine, which is transformation. My life is transforming at the perfect time in the most perfect way. Definitely. Light workers in this deck. Clear quartz, clarity. I have clarity in all aspects of my life. Most definitely. You are opening up with your third eye. Creonite, trust. I trust myself and the divine flow of the universe, having faith that all is going to work out in your favor. Heliodor, confidence. I'm confident in all that I do. Definitely. Fairy stone, good fortune. I am open to receive all the goodness the universe has to offer me at all times in all ways. The universe wants to have your back. You just need to create the space in order for them to provide the abundance that you so rightly deserve. Ask and you shall receive. If you are feeling like you need that extra help, ask the divine and they'll have your back 100%. Well, that concludes all my readings for today. Again, this was for my new moon in September 2020. Just because it is dated for this new moon does not mean it has to resonate for you at that time. But if you're receiving any messages that are actually tying in with what you're going through in your life, then take what resonates and leave what does not. Okay? I love you guys all so much. Don't forget to bring out your crystals. Don't forget to bring out your notebooks. Write down the things that you want to manifest. Let go of the things that no longer serve, and allow the universe to do its part by integrating more light into your world. Okay? I love you guys, and with love and light always, namaste. See you guys later.